Call him the ride.
Go ahead, put it on real tight. I hope you brought your best tonight. They say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. Here around the chutes, you're the best, so let's go.
This is Texas Toast. I'm your host, Miss Helen. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best from Texas.
Cheers, everyone, and welcome to the Texas Toast podcast. And like huge cheers, it's Sarah Hobbs joining us today. Hello, sweet Sarah. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing wonderfully. Can't complain a bit.
I know. You look amazing. You're glowing as always with your big smile. And it's like we haven't seen each other in a few months. And it was just like when we signed on, it was like, oh my gosh, I get to see your face. It's so awesome. And speaking of the last time I saw you, congrats. We were so excited for you. Our current Texas Country Music Awards Female Artist of the Year. And you had been a finalist for like 6 years.
Yes, praise the Lord above. It's been really, really good. Between both of the award shows, it blows me away every year, and it's an incredible honor, of course. But to have won on both sides of it, it's humbling, and it makes you really realize that what you're doing is worth it, and people are taking notes. So that part of it, like I said, just to be nominated with those girls is incredible because I'm fans of all of them and friends.
I know. Y'all are all like big buddies. It's like, and truly, y'all make such a difference and do such a great job. And I mean, the talent amongst all of you, and your talent and your voice and your smile. And let's just talk about some personal stuff first. I do want to talk about. I saw where you bagged you a deer back in January. I got to know. My outdoor side comes out.
Girl, we got meat in the freezer now. I'm so excited.
Yes. So how is that experience?
Oh, it's so fun. Like I've been hunting, of course, since I was like little girl. My mom hunted, my mom did. So of course, like I didn't have a choice. Like you're going to be in that stand at 3 years old. So it's
exactly.
And it never is not exciting. Like even if you go, like it's just exciting. So
where were you at when you shot it?
So it's actually in Stanley, Louisiana. So I played a little get together there for the last weekend of deer season, and we had great friends and great camaraderie and lots of hunting and drinking all the waters.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that. And it's always nice to get that meat in the freezer. And all I know is the last time I was deer hunting, like, it happens, but it's never happened to me that bad. Like the buck fever shaking thing.
Oh, girl. Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was sighted in on my gun. Everything was good. I'm set up and I'm like, I'm breathing, I'm ready to go. And literally like my knees started and like I started feeling like a noodle and everything. And Ron was in deer stand with me and he's like, oh no, this is not happening. I'm like, I was trying to hold the gun, but anyway, so much for
it's a real deal. Like it really, really is. But it is like, people don't even understand the excitement level of it. And girl, we did some good eating that weekend too. Like woo, we had deer steak, and then we had Lord, what else? I did some etouffee, and they did all kind of stuff, but it's always just so good.
Yes.
Oh, a jambalaya, and
nice.
My boyfriend was still off working at the time, and I told him, like, all right, freezer is going to be full, and you're going to get tired of me frying deer steak, so I've got to go pick up my deer so we can do that.
Way to go, girl. That's the way to go. So speaking of, you were just bringing up, hunting since you were little. Now you kind of grew up right on the Texas-Louisiana border. Where exactly did you grow up?
So I grew up in Marion County, which I guess the closest town is going to be Jefferson, Texas. And it's literally, I always tell people, if you want to go by boat, it's like 6 miles because it's just right on the Louisiana line. And, all the bayous and rivers that run through Jefferson run right into Caddo Lake. And of course, half of Caddo is in Texas and the other half is in Louisiana. So it's a beautiful place. Like it is stunning. And actually the Black Bayou video,
yes,
all there at Caddo Lake.
Right. And I'm going to talk about that because that is like,
Girl.
let's talk about the video. Let's talk about that's on my list. I had some other stuff, but while we're on that topic, let's just segue into music stuff in Black Bayou and the filming of the video.
Whew.
Ooh.
It was a 2-day video shoot, and it was, of course, Casey James with Playlist Films. Like, they knocked it out of the park per usual, like they always do. Their work is incredible, and when they got there and like were really able to look around and see what they were going to be like, kind of the content that they were going to get and the areas that they were going to be shooting, he was just like, "This is insane. It's like we're in South Louisiana." I was like, "I know," because it is. It's just beautiful, but the storyline that, which I think, well, they call it a treatment, but the treatment and the whole thing that they come up with was exactly like what I had in my head. So to be able to act that out is just a breeze, which I really enjoy acting too. But but yeah, and that song was just, it was made for a video. 100%. Absolutely written for a video. So I had so much fun, and some of the locations, a lot of people don't know. So the little bar that's there is called the Lighthouse, and it is literally on a back road and minutes from Louisiana, but I think it's on the Texas side, and it's in uncertain Texas, very tiny town, not even a town, pass through. So much fun. It's still one of those bars that's like, you can bring your own liquor in. They've got the mixers, and then they serve beer. So
nice.
You got a bar on a back road that's BYO liquor.
Beer and setups.
That's a recipe.
I don't know if they still call it that, beer and setups, but anyway.
They probably do there, and they have probably some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Like, you want to fry anything, it's there, and it's real good.
That's it. And it's little places like that where you find the best stuff, like the food and yes.
And they have like a steak night, and those steaks are like, I'd put them up against any high-end steakhouse in any big city.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. And of course, Black Bayou was a great song for you, and I always have to talk about that with you. And love the video. Everybody's been blown away by your current single, "Roof Over My Head," and of course, you and Helene and Bree all contributed to writing that song. And I mean, I got to preview it, and immediately I was just listening to it over and over. And then like the next week, it just blew up on the charts, which was no surprise. We were so excited for you. And then also it was like a top pick on Apple also.
Yeah. Oh, girl, when I saw that, I was like, what is life? What? I was so excited.
It is a jewel, and and it's like the whole concept of it, and those of us that have been in that position, I was like, dang, why didn't I think to say that? So talk about the writing session, you girls bringing it together.
Sure. So this probably started back to be quite a few years ago. I was in a relationship that just, it had some toxic things happening in it, and anyway, should have been out of it way prior, but you live and you learn. Anyway, it was kind of one of those things where it's my house, I can treat you how I want to. It's my house, I can talk to you how I want to. If you don't like it, you can pack your stuff and leave. And those are the nicest words that I could say on it.
Right.
So I was just cleaning a closet out one day, and it was just crying basically, and it was like, I'm so tired of you holding this roof over my head. And then I was like,
boom.
Oh gosh. So anyway, I wrote it down, and probably 6 months to a year after that, I told Bree about it, and she was like, oh my gosh, that hasn't been done. And I said, I know. I looked it up immediately, and then we talked about it a little bit. Well, then 6 months later, like, she had been writing with Helene Cronin, which Helene is just
she's amazing,
incredible. Her brain works just completely intrigues me, and I love it so much. But anyway, she was like, I think, because I told Bree, like, because she'd been in similar circumstances, and like, I was like, I want you to write this with me because you've lived it, and if you haven't lived it, it's hard to really write it to where it's going to really resonate with people. So anyway, she was like, I think that Helene is going to be the perfect third rider on this. And boy, was she ever.
Mm.
So anyways, I was like, I'm in, I'm done. I'd heard things that she, had written, and I was like, I would be honored if she would be in on this. So we went to a writer's retreat, and she and I had actually told Helene about it in New Braunfels one night. We were all, just hanging out at the house. And Helene was like, I'm in. Yes, absolutely. So at the writer's retreat, we had unlimited time to be able to really focus in and do that. And it was probably, we worked on it for maybe 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, something like that. It might not have even been that long, but it wrote itself. And I would tell every situation, in the song is true. So, the things that I would say something, then Bree would say something, and then Helene would put her spin on it. And it, was just a true, perfect 3-part right, because, we all were bouncing ideas, and, if it wasn't said perfectly, then the other one, it would, switch something in their mind, say, okay, we could say this, but it's still this. And then the other one would write it with the perfect melody. And it fell together better than we could have ever imagined. And, when we finished up writing the song, we were like, this is something special. Like, this song is almost bigger than us. Like, it's a very, very special song. And the second that it was available for the public, I had girls texted me left and right saying,
I
oh
bet.
my God, this one really is resonating. This one's the one. And I mean, they would type out huge heartfelt messages, and it just, like, I hope that it encourages, and males too. Like, there's
Oh yeah.
males in the same situation, and I don't want to ever harp on anything that's just to the guys or anything, because girls can be the exact same way. So it's one, I hope that it encourages somebody to get out of something way earlier and know their worth, and know that they're better
I
than
know.
that. You'll be fine. They got a lot of people that love them.
You will be fine, and you will be so much greater than
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
like the freedom in your life when you've had that
Yeah.
bondage, and yeah, and getting out earlier, and just don't have those doubts, don't doubt yourself, and
No,
have a team together. I did. I had my team together, and my
absolutely.
girls got me through it. But
Mhm.
anyway, but I love hearing the story about how it came about. So how did it feel when you were in the studio recording it, and then when the final product came out?
I thought that it was going to be, well, actually, a couple of people that I worked with was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such an emotional experience for you. Like, we just need you to get back in that mindset. And I was like, actually, no, I don't want to be.
No, I couldn't
And
see that.
because, when I cut it, like, I was truly just so happy from just
Yes,
in
yes.
all aspects of life, from music to personal to family to everything. I was like, no, this is more of an anthem of, like, I'm so far on the other side and so grateful for where I am now, that I was literally smiling when I was singing parts of it, because it's literally, like I said, it's an anthem.
See, and that's the end that I mean, that's what I figured you were going to say, was like how, oh man, just like
Exactly.
yes, very, very much so. So you I mean, of course you play a lot of shows, you've been out a lot. What's your favorite thing about your live shows when you get to get out in front of everybody?
I think there's a certain magic that happens, of course, on a stage, like when the band, everything is just clicking with the band, and you can feel it, and it is insane. It's like no other thing. But, that's incredible. And then seeing how fans respond to certain songs will never get old. And, I was talking to my mom about this the other day. And after shows, like, when people are like, could I bother you for a picture? I'm like, me? Could I take a picture with me? So it's still just, it makes me feel so incredibly good, because people spend their hard earned money on traveling to the shows. Babysitters aren't cheap.
True.
Hotels, going out. And, if they didn't do that, we would not have a job. So
Mhm.
I think just like getting to interact with the fans after, and then of course working with the good venues. So this is a really long answer now that it's turned into.
No, that's good.
But I the whole experience is great. But like I said, I feel like there's a certain magic on stage, and you can feel it from looking at some of the fans, like when they make certain faces and they are so excited, or you can tell they're jamming out, and especially to one of your songs, like you're just, it's mind blowing. But then you come back on the other side of it, and the whole band, like, you kind of look around and we're like, this is everything. So
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and I've been fortunate enough to get to see you, and you're amazing, and your voice just like, I'm surprised you don't blow like equipment sometimes with that powerful voice you have. Like all of a sudden, what happened? Oh, it was just Sarah hitting that note.
You're just over here making my whole dang day. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
So you're about probably home and settled in. I know that you've had a busy last couple of months, and I was looking at some of your tours coming up. I noticed you're going to do the Cancun thing with Junior Gordon, and you're just coming off of so you're in Steamboat first, bundled up, and then you're in Key West. Oh my
It is.
gosh. I bet that was fun trying to pack the wardrobe with that business.
I swear when I was packing for all these trips, which sadly, side note, the Cancun thing is no mas now. So yeah, sad day. But well, and it was nothing, huge. It was just some dates weren't working out. So we're just gonna try to put something back together, on, in the future. But I love Junior to death. He's a great guy, great family, great wife.
He's kind of one of our locals around here. I call him local. He's in from my area.
Yes, I can't say enough good things about them. Like they're such a godly family, and
Yes.
I absolutely love that. So being around people like that are just, it's incredible. But yeah. So when I was packing for, this is nuts. So I had to pack for Steamboat, then literally had a 24-hour turnaround and had to pack for Key West. So that was a hard, just like mental thing to even switch from, okay, unpack, repack for Key West, and then to do, because I'm actually, up in Louisiana right now, and I had like a 2.5 week tour in Texas, and then coming off of Key West and then Texas, Louisiana, and then I go to Iceland at the end of the month.
Oh, wow. What?
Oh, yeah, girl. So to be able to like then switch from, okay, Key West, Iceland? Oh no. And when I say it's cold there this time of year, like it is frigid. Like it's gonna be brutally cold. And it's more the winds, like those northern winds just come off I guess it's the Icelandic Sea and then hit back on the North Sea. And it's a tiny island just south of Greenland. So
Right.
it gets
So
cold.
what are you going to do in Iceland? Are you performing or are you going hunting or what? Or both?
Woo, girl, I wish I was going hunting. That would put that on my bucket list. But no, I'll be singing. So we've built a pretty good following in Iceland over the last 5, 6 years. I started going in 2018, I believe, and this will be my third or fourth trip over there. And the people are just so appreciative. I think that's the thing that I love, playing over there the most for is they know that you've traveled so far. They're going to show up. They're listening to your stuff prior to you coming over there because it takes a long time. And Iceland isn't really somewhere like they don't have a huge live music scene. They have special events, and when they do, like everybody goes. So they know how lucky they are. When music events happen, like I said, they show up, they show out, they are incredible. The last time I was there, I had a theater show, which was sold out. And I tell you, like, it was the craziest experience, probably one of the craziest experiences of my life. Like the first, like 3 rows, I could see them singing along to my song. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love them so much.
I bet they're going to be so excited for you to come.
It truly is. It's a very humbling experience playing over there. And the first couple of gigs were we did like a small gig, and then we did the big sold out theater show gig, and then we had an off day, and then went and played at a church where I had an Icelandic choir singing behind me, like old school hymns. And
Whoa.
I'm losing my mind. This is the coolest thing. It was
I would
incredible.
love to hear some of that, especially with your voice and then a choir. Oh my gosh.
It was, you could feel the presence of Jesus up in there.
Goosebumps, right? Oh my, Sarah, that's amazing.
It truly was. And like the band is all from Iceland. And then it's just myself and Milo Deering, which
Uh-huh.
the epitome of everything.
Milo, yes.
Thing. But he and his wife were able to go too. And so he like set up his steel.
Stop.
Just like it was so country, and then he'd hit that steel, and then the choir would come in, and I was like, I'm gonna cry this whole gig. I can't even handle it. So yeah, so we're doing a special event at the church, and I'll sing. They want like 5 originals, and then a few like old school country cover songs, and then we're gonna do more gospel. So it's so exciting, and they're
And well, oh my gosh.
people.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty.
That is like the probably the coolest thing I have heard about in a long, long time. Oh, wow.
It definitely gives you the goosies for sure, and makes every hair on you stand up.
I bet. So, I know that are you like constantly writing, preparing for your next album? Do you have some new stuff you'll be recording? I know we've got the single that's out and it's gonna grow
Mhm.
itself, but
So we do have a follow-up single ready to roll right after Roof. And I love this song as well. Like this was one that I heard it, and it was a demo that I got to hear that the co-writers on it were Jessie Joe Dillon, which is Dean Dillon's daughter, which of course it's great. And then the other co-writer on that was Heather Little. So, and she's obviously just incredible. And she co-wrote on Black Bayou as well.
yes.
And Gunpowder and Lead for Miranda, and Me and Charlie Talking for Miranda. So when I heard this song, I was just like, I have to cut that because it's just so relatable. It's like almost one of those like easygoing like backroads songs, but it's called Lesson I'll Never Learn. And I mean, you can kind of go off the title of that.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So excited for you for everything. Well, so I'm trying to think, is there anything else we didn't talk about or we need to talk about? I don't know. I think we're good. I mean, I would like to ask you also, like some of your, since you have to do like hair and makeup so much on the road, do you have any like little hacks that you do like to make things easier, any little shortcuts?
You know, I kind of do. Like, I've tried to condense down, like, I did have this huge makeup bag, and I was just like, I don't use half the stuff in here. So when I was packing for like Key West or Steamboat in Key West, I was like, okay. One day when I was doing like my quick makeup, I was like, set aside exactly what you use. Don't bring the whole thing where you literally could set up mini Ulta.
Yes.
Just use these things. So I literally separated it out by like just like eye stuff in one little bag, and then everything else in one little bag. And I have got it down where I can do dang near full glam makeup in 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
Which also contributes, like, you learn like how to finagle your way and like work with tiny counters because I guess truck stops as well too, because you don't really want to do your makeup when you're leaving out at 6 a.m. from somewhere. So I'll just pull in a good old Bucky's or Love's, and you get looks sometimes. People are like, why is she doing that? And I'm always like, I hope they ask. I can't wait.
Yes. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Well, it has been so much fun visiting with you. I've learned so much, and you're just always such a joy to be around. And of course, you were one of our nominees. We had our first ever Texas Toast like end of year awards.
Yes.
You were our life of the party. You were our life of the party. One of our that gets everybody inspired and just it's just fun. It's just always good fun stuff when I have the wonderful opportunity to be around you. So one last question. If you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Ooh. Spicy margarita all day.
Spicy margarita. Okay.
Margarita. Let's go.
That sounds good. Well, Sarah, we're going to be following the single and then looking forward to the whole year ahead to see what you have for us. And again, I'm so glad we finally got to catch up, and thank you so much, Sarah Hobbs.
With a heavy tongue, she knew where I was from. As she left, I dared to say, well, you can go